The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves. So the scriptures say examine yourselves. So when a man come out here and apply Leviticus 19 and 17 and show you your wrongdoing, show you your sin, guess what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to examine yourself after he show you what you're going off at. Examine yourself and see if what he's saying be true or false. That's what you're supposed to do. Not say, brother, why you hating on me? Instead, you're supposed to say, brother, I appreciate that. I'm going to go on and try to work on that. That's what's supposed to be going on inside your mind, but that mind wicked, bro. Read. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves. So every man should know themselves. Everybody should understand and know whether they gonna be in the in the faith or not. How you understand and know if you're in the faith? If you keeping God's commandments. If you going through the Bible making a checklist, checking out, oh, okay, I done changed this according to the Bible. Okay, I changed that according to the Bible. That's how you examine yourself. That's how you examine yourself. That's how I kill. Okay, I don't steal no more. That's how I lay down with a sister without getting married. Okay, I don't do that no more. That's how you examine yourself. That's how you go through the scripture and examine yourself. The Bible is a mirror, bro. It's for you to look at yourself with and examine yourself. Not to just read it and don't get no understanding from it. That's why we destroy it. Because we think it's just a book. Come on, brother, you want to know your nationality according to the Bible? But yeah, we supposed to examine ourselves according to the scripture. Come on up a little bit, bro. We ain't gonna bite. You stand on this side over here. Come on this side right there. Stand over there. Yeah, right there. You see these? His dad what? Oh, so your dad is okay. He white? Okay then. My bad, bro. This ain't for you then. Alright. Alright. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
I know where I'm going, bro.
Damn, I thought he was listening. Yo, read that thing one more time. The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves. How that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobate. How you gonna be reprobate? You're gonna be reprobate when you stop keeping the laws of God. When you don't keep the laws of God, that's what's making you reprobate. When you don't want to hear the laws of God, then therefore, guess what? You are reprobate. When the laws of God hurt you, when they come out, and you hear, hey, you're not supposed to be in pain, and it hurts you, right then you are reprobate. Because you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen, but believe it or not, the words of God is supposed to cut like a two-edged sword, bro. It's supposed to cut like that. It's supposed to hurt like that. That's what's going to make you get right. That's what's going to make you examine yourself. That's what's going to make you open your eyes. When you doing the will of God and you know the will of God, that's what's going to help you to understand and open your eyes. Once you understand what the will of God is, give me that. Psalms 48. Once you understand that the will of God is, then you will understand and know, okay, I'm going off right here. Okay, I'm wrong right here. But see, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to examine ourselves daily. We're supposed to examine ourselves daily. Okay, I got to make sure I don't do this today. I messed up yesterday, but I got to make sure I don't go this way today. Read. The book of Psalms, chapter 40 and verse 8. I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yea, thy law is within my heart. So he said, I delight to do thy will, O my God. Thy law is within my heart. Thy law is within my heart. So the will of God is the laws of God. So anybody say, I'm trying to do the will of God, well, you got to be trying to keep the commandments. You got to try to keep it. You got to keep the commandments. Ain't no way around it. That's give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. You got to keep these commandments. That's what you put on this earth to do. Keep these commandments. Keep the commandments of God. We just We just not know any old people on this earth. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. The conclusion of the whole matter is to fear God and to keep His commandments. To fear God and not to violate the Sabbath day. Fear God and to grow a beard like a man. Fear God and not to shave your head bald. Fear God and not to do Leviticus 11 and 7. Give me Leviticus 11 and 7. Because I'm going to give you commandments, man. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you commandments that you shouldn't be breaking. The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof. So it said, and the swine. And the swine. What swine? Swine is the pig. Swine is pork. It say, though it divided the hoof. Read. And the swine, though it divided the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. So it said, the swine is unclean to you. Why? Because it cheweth not the cud. In order for you to eat it, it got to chew the cud and it has to divide the hoof. But guess what? It divides the hoof, but it don't chew the cud. So therefore God said it is unclean to you. It is unclean to you. So anybody walking around eating swine, they're not fulfilling the will of God. Anybody eating pork is not fulfilling the will of God. So now, since you know that, you got to go through the scripture and examine yourself and look at that and turn away from that. That's how you turn away from your sin. Because sin, give me that in 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. The book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. So it said, for whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. Sin is the breaking of God's commandments. Only people that can break God's commandments is you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American. Y'all the only ones that can transgress God's laws. Because He gave them to you. Give me verse 19. Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth His word unto Jacob, His statutes and His judgments unto Israel. So it say He showeth His word unto Jacob, His statutes and His judgments unto Israel. So guess what? God didn't give His judgments and His statutes, His laws to everybody on earth. He gave it to Jacob. Jacob's name was later on changed to Israel, meaning that's the same person. The same person. He didn't give it to nobody else. Read that. He showed His word unto Jacob, His statutes and His judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as far as His judgments, they have not known them. So it said, He have not dealt so with any nation, and that's what judgment they have not known them. They haven't suffered the judgment of breaking their commandments. They haven't suffered Deuteronomy 28:15 through 68. They ain't suffered that. They ain't suffered that. This is not for them. He only gave the law, statutes, and commandments to Israel. The other nations have not suffered those things. Deuteronomy 28 and 15, they haven't suffered that. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15 again, bro. book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments. So it says, if you don't hearken and observe to do all the Most High God commandments, he didn't say do one of his commandments or two of his commandments. He said do all his commandments. All of his commandments. If we don't listen to do those things, read. And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And that's why the curses came upon us and overtook us. That's why, that's what Psalms 147, 19 and 20 is telling you. The curses are on you because he only gave the law, statutes, and commandments unto you. Give me Isaiah 39. The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord. So it said that this is a rebellious people. We're rebellious. We don't want to have discipline in our life, which is the laws of God. The laws of God is what restricts us from doing whatever the hell we want to do. It's what restricts us from doing what we want to do in this life. For doing the things that are inside our wicked mind. That's what restrains us. The laws of God is what restrains us. It's what keeps us in order. When we roll around out of order, guess what? We ain't got the life of God in us, because the order is his commandment. That's what order us as a people. God's commandment.
Your eyes gotta be up, bro. You got children, bro. You can't all that cursing, bro.